if you've been feeling overwhelmed, anxious, exhausted, or just stuck, your body isn't broken. It's responding exactly the way a nervous system is designed to respond when it feels under pressure. So instead of pushing yourself harder, the real solution may be learning how to support your nervous system and actually maybe do less. Welcome to the Balanced Fit and Free podcast. I'm Rae Anne Mullins, and this season we're talking about the deeper side of wellness, mental health, emotional patterns, self-awareness, alignment, and what it truly means to live well from the inside out. Because real health isn't about perfection. It's about becoming stronger, more intentional, more authentic, and more free. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Balanced Fit and Free podcast. We are back at it. Season 5 is here, and I'm all about it. I took a little bit of a break after our last episode in April of 25. I was only going to take about a month off, and here we are approaching 1 year. So I apologize, but we are back, and this season is going to be all about feeling better from the inside out, feeling a balance in your life, feeling free from those, unrealistic expectations, free from limiting beliefs and old patterns and stories, and, just fit in our life. And that doesn't just mean physically fit, but fit emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all of the above. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about the fact that, you don't necessarily have a motivation problem. It could just be that you have a nervous system problem or an dysregulated or an unhappy nervous system. So before we get into that, I will give you a quick update on what's going on and what's taken me so long to get back to the podcast. First of all, after our last podcast, I was very intrigued by all of the information I've been learning through this breathwork certification and through all of the information that I was researching for Hashimoto's and thyroid and just all of the years of information that I've been gathering. And honestly, it started to just be a lot of information. And I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with all of this information. And one day I just looked at my husband and I said, what I really, really want is to go back to school to be a therapist. And he looked at me and he said, okay. And I was like, but I can't do that. It's money, it's time. I wouldn't really be able to focus as much on my business and I'd be busy all the time. And he was like, but you're the one that always tells people to do what they want to do and to, do the things that you think are impossible. He was like, why not? And I said, you're right. Why not? So anyway, I'm already at this point starting almost my 3rd semester, which is so unbelievable. And here's a little pep talk for you. If you ever want to do something, the thinking about it and then making the decision is actually harder than the actual thing. And, I actually about 10 years ago wanted to do this, but talked myself out of it. And, I think timing is important. And I think that now is actually a better time than it was 10 years ago. But the time is already passing and I'm already this far into the program and just a little bit over a year to go, which is amazing. So I will give you more information about that as it approaches, but I am getting my master's in clinical mental health counseling. And when I am done, I'm going to be incorporating therapy, breath work. So mind therapy or talk therapy, I'm going to be incorporating with body therapy, which is somatic healing, which is the breath work, the meditation, yoga. I will also use my experience that I've had all these years with my fitness and nutrition certifications. So I'm really excited because all of the information that I've learned over these years, it all goes together so beautifully. And so why not put it all together? So when I am done, I am going to be a holistic therapist working in, person-centered therapy. It's going to be amazing. But in the meantime, I'm still going to be taking on breathwork clients. I still have my strength training membership. And we'll take a couple clients here and there for lifestyle and nutrition coaching, but I'm kind of peeling back on that a little bit until I'm done with school. So hang in there. I can still work with you in so many different ways, but when school is over, watch out, world, because I'm going to be coming after you. Anyway, okay. So today, let's jump right into our topic. Have you ever had one of those moments where you think, I know exactly what I should be doing, but I just can't seem to do it? And you know what? If you're here, I have a feeling that, yes, you have said that to yourself, because that's exactly the kind of people I work with, are these overachieving, I should say high achieving, not overachieving, but women who really do know a lot, super smart, super educated, have read everything, know how to access the information, but just have a really hard time sticking with it. You know, these women know that they need to go to bed at a good time. They know that they need to move their body. They know that they need to eat a balanced diet. They know that they need to slow down and do things like breath work and meditation and rest, right? We know this, but it's also hard because our brain is racing. Okay. We're exhausted. And somehow it's actually hard to slow down and just relax and rest. And then we all start wondering, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I follow the workout plan like she can? What is wrong with me? Why is it hard for me to eat my protein? Why is it so hard for me to drink my water? Why is it so hard for me to go to sleep at night? What is wrong with me? But what if the problem isn't actually doesn't have anything to do with your motivation, right? Or your willpower, but instead it's your nervous system. Okay? The thing that is running the show behind the scenes is the nervous system. So today, let's talk about what the nervous system is, how it affects your stress, your habits, your energy, and even your health and relationships. And most importantly, what you can do to help your body feel calm again. So one thing I hear all the time from women is this feeling of just being overwhelmed. They say things like, oh, I'm exhausted all the time. Actually, I will tell you, when I meet with somebody, one of the very first things they say, I'll say, how you doing? And they say, oh, I'm so exhausted. I'm so exhausted. Or I'm so busy. I'm so busy, right? Those are the two things I hear the most. And probably you do too. When you sit down with a friend or you call somebody, they're like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so exhausted. We're all so tired and busy, right? So they say a lot of these things. My brain never turns off. I feel stressed even when nothing is wrong. I feel tension in my body. I know I need to change things, but I just feel stuck and don't know where to start. And many women assume that this means, that they are a failure or that they need to try harder. They need to work harder. They need to exercise more. They need to diet harder. They need to give up the things that they love. But a lot of the time, what's really happening is that their nervous system has been in the stress mode for too long. So let's think about the world that we live in right now. And I'm not even going political. I'm just saying, in the world that we live in right now, there's so many things to juggle, right? Work, family, just your emotional labor, constant notifications on that darn phone. Have I ever told you that when the phone dings, my entire body tenses up? Or if it rings? So just FYI, if you're a friend or a family member and I never answer my phone, it's because I always have it on Do Not Disturb, because the actual ding, vibration, sound of my phone notification actually puts my body into serious stress mode. So I just turned it off. Just turned it off. Okay. Although if there's an emergency, my kids and my husband are allowed to break through. So they get to call me. Anyway, most of us are, dealing with this, like not only just the constant notifications from our phone, but expectations in the world. Like, think about the pressure. And now we have social media that just makes us feel even worse about ourselves, because all you see is everybody's wonderful, perfect life, even though we all know that that's not really true, but we still see it all the time. And our bodies and our brains were just not designed to be stimulated like this all the time. So eventually the nervous system just gets overwhelmed. And when that happens, the body starts living in survival mode. And I know that if you've listened to seasons past, I talk about survival mode. I talk about a lot of this. And so even though I've talked about all of this again, I think it's really important to bring up again. And so I hope you'll hang in there and keep listening. Hey, ladies, I'm just going to interrupt for a moment. If you've been saying to yourself, I know I need to strength train, but I just can't stay consistent, or I'm not really sure what to do. Well, I created the Balanced Fit and Free Strength membership for people just like you. We meet live 3 mornings a week on Zoom for a simple and effective workout that helps you progressively get stronger because random workouts just aren't working. You'll get guidance, accountability, breath work, coaching, and a supportive community of women all working toward feeling stronger physically and mentally. We have live and replay only memberships available. You can check the show notes for the link to learn more. Now back to the show. So, what is the nervous system? And let's just keep this super simple. We don't need to, turn into Reader's Digest or like NASA or anything scientific-y. But scientific-y, that's a new word, by the way. Anyway, let's just talk about what the nervous system is. So the nervous system is basically your body's command center, right? It controls things like your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion, your energy levels, and even your emotional reactions. But most importantly, your nervous system is constantly asking one question, and that is, am I safe? If the answer is yes, your body relaxes. If the answer is no, or even a maybe not, your body shifts into stress mode. So there really are 2 main states that your nervous system moves between. It moves between stress mode, right, and calm mode. So stress mode is also known as your fight or flight, right? This is kind of like your, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn are kind of the 4 stress mode areas that you can be in. But this is when your body prepares to deal with danger. So when this system turns on, you might feel anxious, overwhelmed, irritable, wired but tired, tense in your body, and just unable to relax. Your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. The response is helpful if you're running right from danger. But many people today are really just stuck in this mode all day long. And so I want you to know that, we need this. We need to have this ability to make a decision to like get out of the way or to, if you're about to be in an accident, you want to be able to have the reaction time to like avoid. So that's like fight or flight. Like we need this stress mode. We need it. It's actually a good thing. But what's not good is most people have gotten stuck in that mode. And it's not because we're being chased by a tiger, right? It's because we're getting emails and our phone dinging all day long and emails and just so much information constantly going. Then you throw on the news and there's just so much coming at us. So we have this instinct to just stay in stress mode, okay? Now, calm mode, which is also kind of known as your rest and digest. Okay, this is a state where your body can actually recover. So did you know that when you're super, super stressed, it's harder to digest your food? Well, if you have I'm just throwing this out as a bonus tip. If you're having a lot of digestion issues, have you calmed down lately? Or are you constantly stuck in stress mode? Okay, think about that for a moment. So when we are actually in the calm mode, the rest and digest system, then your breathing slows, your digestion improves, your mind feels clearer, your body actually has time to repair itself. So this is the time for healing. So when you are able to sleep, like have quality sleep, this is when your muscles repair, your body actually heals itself during this time. So if you're never resting or you're never calming down, then your body's going to break down. And it just makes sense, right? You're going to have a stomach ache, a headache. It's harder to build muscle. It's harder to lose fat. It's like all the things we want, are a little bit harder to achieve if you never slow down, if you never allow your body or your nervous system to go into calm mode, okay? So the actual names, by the way, for those 2 systems, the stress, I'm going to say mode, is the sympathetic system, Okay. And then the calm mode is the parasympathetic system, in case you want to know that. All right. Well, here's the 3 things that I want you to know about your nervous system. Okay. These are the 3 things. If you learn nothing else in this podcast, please just remember these things. Okay. So before we talk about solutions, these are the 3 really important things to understand. Okay. And these ideas alone can change the way you think about your stress. So, number 1, your nervous system cares more about safety than it does happiness. Okay. Remember, I told you that your nervous system is like your command center. It's always scanning your environment, looking for signs of safety or danger. And this happens automatically. It's not like you're telling your brain or your body to start looking, right? It just happens naturally. Now, if you have a lot of trauma or you've been in like really high stress situations like combat or like a firefighter or, maybe an ER nurse, like there's situations where people, or maybe you've been in an accident and these really high intensity situations, you're going to be even more on high alert, right? So anyway, this does happen automatically. It looks like conflict, okay? Things that you're looking out for unconsciously are conflict, pressure, criticism, uncertainty, too many demands, too many expectations on yourself. All of these signal danger to the body, okay? So negative self-talk, that might just be happening behind the scenes, but that's creating more stress and problems in your body, okay? It really does. So when that happens, when your body is like looking for danger all the time, your nervous system shifts into this protection mode. Your heart rate goes up, your muscles tighten, your mind races, and your breathing gets more shallow. Okay. And then, by the way, the more that your breathing gets shallow and your heart races, your body gets even more scared. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going to die. We're not getting enough air in here. And so then what does that do? It creates more tension. It creates more mind racing. It creates more. So you have just this like constant cycle of more and more and more of stress and worry and fear. And it's really hard to break out of if you don't become aware of it. Okay. So it isn't like your body is trying to sabotage you. It's just trying to protect you. That's the job. Okay. So when your nervous system, so number 2, though, number 1 is that I want you to remember that your nervous system cares more about safety than it does about your happiness. Okay. It wants to keep you alive. Thank goodness. Okay. So we want to be happy that we have that. We just have to be aware of it. Okay. Number 2 thing that I want you to know is when your body is stressed, logic just goes out the window, like just right out the window. Okay. So when your nervous system thinks that you're in danger, your survival brain takes over, right? That's that protection mode. And this is why people say things like, I know what I should do. I just can't seem to do it. Like, I know I should take a break, but I'm so worried about my expectations at work that I can't stop working late. I know that I need to eat healthier, but I have to slow down to actually go to the grocery store and buy healthy food. Like, there's all these things that we do that sabotage ourselves, right? But it's not really a lack of discipline. It really isn't. It's when your body feels stressed, your brain focuses on survival, not long-term goals. That's why things like breathing and movement and calming the body can be so powerful. They all help your nervous system. It's okay. It's okay. You're safe. So when you are doing things to calm your body and calm your mind, this is a signal to your nervous system that we're good. We're good. Okay. The number 3 thing that I want you to remember about your nervous system is that it can be trained. This is such great news. The nervous system can learn new patterns, just like your brain. Okay. So just like your muscles get stronger when you train them, your nervous system can get better at calming down. Yay. This is good news, right? Small things done consistently can help your body feel safer. Things like, I'm going to say it again, deep breathing or breath work, walking, just walking. And I'm not talking about with your weighted vest and your dumbbells and power walking around the park. I'm talking about just strolling, like chill out a little bit, right? Strength training, though, is another way that you can train your nervous system, getting stronger in shorter bursts, okay? Also, spending time in nature. So what a great thing. Go for a walk outside. That's 2 birds, 1 stone. Know what I'm saying? Having quiet moments without your screens, okay? That is one thing that I'll talk with clients and they'll say, well, every night before bed, I lay in bed and watch my iPad or play solitaire on my iPad or do all these things on the iPad. And so I get it. I get that that might be relaxing and fun because I love some solitaire. But we have to remember that constantly looking at screens is actually creating more stress. So if you could instead put the screen away and maybe get an actual old school coloring book out with like crayons and paper, or, like just close your eyes or read a regular book, like something without a screen would be way more helpful. And then also remember that you can train your nervous system by connecting with supportive people that have like-minded interests as you. So being a part of a group, being part of a group that cares about their health, being part of a group that cares about, I don't know, quilting or other hobbies that you love, okay? People that like to exercise, people that want to do healthy things together. That would be a great way to help train your nervous system. So these experiences help just teach the body that it doesn't have to stay in survival mode all the time. Okay, I have to plug some breath work, right? Because that's what I'm really seeing amazing results with clients. So one of the fastest ways to calm your nervous system is just through your breath. Your breath is one of the few things in your body that you can control intentionally. I mean, really. When you slow your breathing down, your body receives the signal that it can relax. This is one of the reasons breath work can be so powerful. It helps shift the body from stress mode to calm mode. Even just a few minutes of slow breathing can make a difference. And so guess what else? When you control your breathing, so let's say that you're having a really stressed out day and you notice your shallow breathing, you feel like your heart rate's been up, you're feeling tension in your shoulders and your neck, or maybe in my case, my low back is where I hold it. If I catch myself like that, I just start really focusing on the breath. Your breath then has a direct response to your heart. So if you can really start to control your breathing and take long, slow breaths with a little extra push on the exhale, you can actually drop your heart rate. And once your body is starting to feel that release, right? You're breathing a little bit deeper, you're getting more oxygen in, you're slowing your heart rate, you're relaxing your muscles, your nervous system's going to be like, oh, we're good. I'm going to chill. Okay. So that is super, super important. All right. And breath work is available to you 24/7. It doesn't matter if you're in a busy meeting. It doesn't matter if you're driving to work. It doesn't matter if you are exercising. You can use your breath intentionally anytime you put your mind to it. Okay. And so I really encourage you to do that. So let's talk about simple ways to calm your nervous system. I already told you the one, but we're going to talk about it again. You don't really need any complicated routines. And it's really just the most simple tools that are the most powerful. So number one, slow breathing. Okay. Try this pattern. You're going to inhale for 4 seconds through your nose. Pause for just a moment and then exhale out your mouth for a count of 6. The longer exhale, like I just said a few minutes ago, helps signal the body to relax. Okay, this like clicks on that parasympathetic or the calm mode of your nervous system. Okay, this also works in exercise. If your heart rate's really high and you're feeling like it's hard to breathe, try to focus on exhaling a little longer than you inhale, and it's going to help kind of catch on to that and bring it down. We do this all the time in my cycle class. At the end, I'll be like, okay, focus on your breathing. We're going to exhale a little longer. And it's so fun to see everybody being like, woo, yeah, my heart rate just dropped. I love it. So even just breathing for 90 seconds, okay, 90 seconds to 3 minutes can make a huge, huge difference in your day. So, if you want to, you could pause me right now and do it. Okay, just breathe. Super, super simple. This God-given ability that we have is just here. Like we just have it. It's amazing. Another tool that you can use is strength training. There's no way I could leave this podcast today without mentioning strength training. Strength training doesn't just build muscle. It also helps your body process stress. It builds resilience and it builds confidence. Okay, feeling physically strong often helps people feel emotionally stronger too. I can confidently say to you that, well, I haven't not strength trained in a really long time. But back in the day when I was a cardio queen, and didn't do as much weightlifting, I didn't feel as good. I was always striving to be smaller, skinnier, burn more, burn more. But flipping into strength training gives me a different perspective on my body, my strength, and my ability. And so I hope that for you too. Like there's this, you want to be stronger. And so lifting weights really helps you connect your mind and body together. And it really helps you appreciate the muscle and not just being skinny or being smaller. It's about being capable and building this strong foundation through your body. And that strong foundation can support your nervous system, and your nervous system is going to support, where you go next. So I really cannot stress enough strength training. So if you are not already doing strength training consistently and you need help, please know that I still am having my strength training membership available. We meet Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:35 a.m. I know 6:35 is kind of weird, but that 5 minutes after 6:30 is really helpful for most of us. We warm up for 10 minutes and then we work out for about 20 minutes and then we stretch and we are done. And I love it. I have seen more women be consistent doing this membership than I did seeing people at a gym, because you don't have to drive anywhere. You get up, you can exercise in your pajamas if you want, with or without shoes, no makeup. Like you get up, you don't even have to turn on your Zoom camera. You can just get up and follow along. It's awesome. And it's been so helpful, not only for my clients, but super helpful for me and my husband. So I want you to know that's still available. That's still an option for you if you need to get some support with your strength training. Strength training is amazing for women of all ages. It's amazing for men of all ages. It's just amazing. And so I hope for you, I wish for you that you can have just a super consistent strength training routine that's going to help mind, body, soul. And if it's with me, amazing. If it's not with me, amazing. I just want you to be your best fit self, okay? And strength training needs to be at the top of the list, all right? Another tool is just movement, okay? Walking, stretching, yoga, if you love yoga, just doing your own yoga at home, just stretching, whatever feels good, okay? This is a great way to release tension that builds up in your body, okay? And remember, walking is, again, just like breathing, walking is available to most everyone, okay? I was just going to say to everybody, but not everybody actually has the ability to walk. So while you do, if you do have the ability to walk, take advantage of it. Don't wait until you can't. The longer you walk, the better health you're going to be in, the better mental health, the better everything. So just walk. If you haven't been exercising, maybe take this podcast, and there's so many amazing podcasts, like stick them in the AirPod, whatever it is. I was going to say earpod. I always say that wrong. But get out and walk, even if it's for 10 minutes. Just start walking, okay? You don't have to put on fancy clothes. I mean, you could even just walk around your house, but please walk. And number one, for physical health, but also for your mental health and for this stress mode that we're talking about. Get out of it. Get out of that stress mode by just walking. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just move. All right. Also, we want to reduce how much input is going into our body and our brain. Okay, our brains are constantly flooded with information. The news, social media, emails, notifications, just even like Netflix. It's so fun to talk to your friends about, ooh, what show are you watching? What show? But then it's also really easy to sit down and watch 2 or 3 episodes of something. And next thing you know, you've been sitting for 2 hours, and that's not necessarily great for our brains or our nervous system. Definitely not good for sleep. So I'm all about watching whatever. Like right now we're watching The Pit. I think it's on HBO if you want to watch it. But we are forcing ourselves to just watch one episode because it really isn't good for you. Your physical body, your mental, your emotional, everything. It is not a good idea to overwatch TV. It is not a good idea to watch every single clip of news that you can find, especially if you're angry, because all you're doing is fueling the fire. So I know that it's important to stay informed, but maybe you make a deal with yourself that you're going to read just the morning news to just see what's going on and then put it away. Because the more you read, and especially with social media, everybody's opinions is just going to tick you off. And the more you get angry at, Aunt Sally's post about the president or about, whatever's going on in the world, it's just going to make you mad. And then you're going to be mad at that person. And then it just causes all this undue stress that just isn't going to change anything in the world. You being stressed is not going to change anything. So put yourself first and put down the news. Put down the social media. Put it down. Like, you don't need to constantly do this to yourself. Okay, I totally went off on a tangent there. But anyway, so if you've been feeling overwhelmed, anxious, exhausted, or just stuck, your body isn't broken. It's responding exactly the way a nervous system is designed to respond when it feels under pressure. So instead of pushing yourself harder, the real solution may be learning how to support your nervous system and actually maybe do less, okay? This is the less is more kind of lesson that we need to look into. So when your body feels safe again, everything starts to shift. Your energy improves, your mind becomes clearer, your habits become easier. So thank you guys for being here today. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for listening to the Balanced, Fit, and Free podcast. I hope this episode helped you feel a little more aware, aligned, and supported on your wellness journey. Remember, true health isn't about perfection. It's about living in alignment with yourself and creating a life that feels balanced, grounded, and free. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, share this episode, and I will see you next time.